Well, how y'all's are, as Justin Wilson used to say. Back here sanding on the boat still. Still working on that. I guess that would actually be the starboard bottom there, but it's on the right hand side of the picture here. I'm kind of just going over it again, more or less just trying to, you know, I can't get away from it, and kind of don't know when done is, you know, what does done look like. So that's why you see me hitting it again. Had a lot of comments, a lot of people talking about why did I do this the way that I'm doing it, and I get it. It's not traditional, but a couple different factors. One, with the way that I laid the glass up by myself, I didn't have time. I mean, you can see that box in the upper right up there, that box right there between that garbage can and my little heater box. That's actually peel ply that I wasn't able to apply because I was wore out and I was by myself. And then I wasn't able to put a flood coat, and so I decided to do this, which I know that it's more work than normal, but my situation is different than you know, if ideally I could have done this, had some help, used the peel ply, not had the humps and the lumps and all that I had. But this is just what worked better for me. So, and I think it's going to work out fine. You can see kind of with the dust on the hull there, you can start to see it kind of starting to take shape, and it's honestly, it looks pretty good. With some stuff to come. You can really see the chine there. It's nice and smooth, and then there'll be some pictures later where that really show the arc of the bow and all, how it really looks good. But I'm gonna try and explain here what I'm doing and why. So thanks for checking it out, and stick with me. I can't say that it's gonna make perfect sense, but at least I'll explain what I'm doing and why, and kind of some of the things I learned. And so bear with me through it all, because I make some mistakes. All right, I hope I caught my breath enough to be able to talk through what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so you can see me, I'm focusing between here, which would be the keel, which is from about right here back is where the pad starts splitting off. Maybe I'll put a picture of that what I'm talking about. So this fiberglass overlaps this way, okay, and that way. That's the line you can see on each side. So what I'm trying to do, I'm focusing just on that space right here, okay, between here and the keel. So I'm just trying to get that level or fair, okay. And then once I get that done, I'll try and keep this same reference point to here and go to the inside of the chine. I hope this makes sense. I'm gonna get my level. And then the problem is, like right now, you can see there's some wobble. Let me see this level. This will show it better because I've kind of got most of this done, all right? So I'm flat from here to here, all right? And so then when I put this level on there, let me see if I can go this way. Maybe you can see it. That's pretty flat until you get up here to the top, which it should come up right here. Sorry, it should. That's where the pad line is, or the keel. And if you follow it down, I know right here, I don't know if you could see it, but there's some. No, let's try this again. Talking about going from here, which would be the outboard side of that pad or the keel, all the way to the inside of the chine. Like you want that to be a solid flat deal. Now let's see if it'll show up. But there's a gap right in here, which is from this pad, this corner of the pad, to the inside of that chine. It's low in there. So that's where we're gonna have to come back. And we're gonna have to fill that up. And we'll pull some more putty all the way across the boat, and then we'll sand it off. But because we left these ridges in here, or I did this little notch trowel, like that'll help save me from having to, hopefully the next round of fairing is going to go a lot better. So that's at least what I'm trying to do right here, if I made sense at all. If not, you know, comment in the bottom and I'll try and answer to clear it up. But that's it. I'm not saying this is the right thing to do, but like just logically to me, this is what I'm trying to accomplish right now, and hope that it assists me in making this bottom fair quicker. So we're gonna keep working. So as I described there, I mean, the sanding's going pretty good. This product is really nice, and I'm working on that between that the keel and that inner part of the chine, and understand that there's, you know, it's not going to wind up two-stepping or two-staging where I'm actually creating a hump with what I'm doing. It's actually it's working out really well. So once I put that next line of fairing in here, it should be, I think I talk in here about being 85% done, but I think I'm gonna be a lot closer. And here you can kind of see the shape of that bow and how it looks really good from that other camera angle. Right there, you can see it's nice and curved. It looks really good from this view, and you know, in person it looks really nice. So I've done this notch trowel here on the bottom, and there's one little piece back there on the right hand side here where I have the notch trowel on the sides of the boat, which I only did that because I was doing the other one, and I already had the notch trowel dirty, and I figured I would try that. I had a little bit of putty left, so I was going to try that, kind of do a little trowel there, and I'll talk about that probably in the next video or upcoming. But once again, you can see here with kind of the dust on the hull, you can see it starting to take shape, and it really looks smooth, and it is smooth. There's still some of those ridges, especially on this side. I didn't work it near as hard or near as long, and it actually comes out and looks good. I think the next step is going to be, some of this will make sense as we get there. So hang on, follow along, and you can see right there started leaving some marks. The sandpaper kind of wore out, so I went and replaced it, and the sandpaper came off immediately. And I'll discuss that here maybe in the next video as well, to kind of show what I learned. I mean, once again, I'm learning on the fly here, but what I learned, how to change that paper on that pad and all. Once again, this is a Durablock. I think it's 30-something inches long from I bought it off of Amazon. I know that there are pneumatic line sanders. I don't have a compressor big enough, and there's just not, I mean, this is a lot of work, but it's just not enough for me to justify buying a compressor or renting a compressor or trying to borrow one, you know. And some goofy part of me, I don't mind the work, you know. It's worth it, you know. It's fun and it's fulfilling more than anything. So yeah, I'm huffing and puffing there. Heart rate gets up, and especially here on the transom, you can see kind of where this thought process started with this notch trowel, because I've got a lot of overlaps. You can see the glass overlapping from the bottom of the hull. You can see the glass overlapping from the sides. There's 4 layers of glass there in the center. So there's a lot of variations, and you can see where those lumps and humps are real easy here. You can see that vertical line, you know, where that motor well is, where there's so much glass, the glass coming over the transom. Well, you can see as I'm longboarding this, it kind of wears at those sides, and I'll discuss this in, you know, I'll do a summary here in just a little while. But I'm just trying to show that this is the primary reason why I was doing this. Now up here, in this next camera change, you'll see like down there at the bottom, you see how easy that line right there will disappear, and that little lump that's all the way in the bottom left. I mean, this stuff does sand really, really easy, especially with that longboard. I mean, and it doesn't take a lot of force. I mean, this is actual speed. Yeah, I thought I lost my thumb there. It actually just grabbed the glove. But you can see here, so if I just take my time and work that board and try and, you know, get the full distance and length of that board, it really works well. And you can see here as I'm trying to sand, and I'm catching that edge where that glass overlaps from the side, so the board is not sanding anything on that corner to the left there. So I'm gonna have to build that up and try and get all of this fair across there. I know through this video I've used a couple times where I've said square or straight or whatever, and it's just hard for, like I said earlier, a wood butcher like me to understand that you know, this boat's not plumb level and square. It's curved, it's fair, it's got angles, and it rolls, and it's twisted, and it's got arcs. So it's a little, sometimes I have to fight back my carpentry background and woodworking background, and just kind of let it go and roll with the curve, so to speak. So that's about all we're doing here. We're about to finish up. You can see I just go back, and you can see how I wanted to show this just because of the difference in how it looks with the dust on it and then with the dust off of it. And then I come back through here, and you know, I'll blow all this off, and actually get my little compressor out, and, you know, really put some I actually took a stiff bristle brush and brushed out all those grooves blew it all out again with, you know, a little more force. Used my leaf blower. I used kind of everything I have here. So I'm just vacuuming this up, and you can still see, and I had another video, and I'll show it coming up here, that gives you an idea of what those notch trowel, all that looks like up close. And it's not very high. I mean, I would say if any of them, maybe the highest ridges left are like 1/16 or something like that. So as you feel it, it feels nice. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna shut it down for the night. But I wanted to talk through kind of what I was doing. Once again, I was trying to work primarily from here to here, okay? To just get this from here to here, because I know that there's an overlap right here, that this is doubled up. This is where the fiberglass is doubled up. And then I tried to work from this point to the base of the chine line and kind of get that all fair in that way. So you can see in some places, you know, I kind of got down into I got down to the glass, so I didn't want to go any further. And I'm going to trust that these ridges, even though they look really high, they're not that high. But I'm going to trust that when I come back in here and I float this again with the next layer of fairing compound, that I'm going to have a pretty good fair surface based on doing this and working this sanding. Because like from here to here, like that's certainly a low spot. So it's tough for a wood butcher like me, who's used to building stuff with wood, that's used to working with, you know, plumb and square and everything else, to go to curved and fair. So, you know, like I'm trying to put my level, you know, that I talked through that earlier, and look at, you know, and that works in the transom where it's pretty much your dead rise is pretty much flat. But when you get up here where it's curved, where this is curved, and you got all these curves and convex angles and bowing and twisting and all this other stuff, it just doesn't work. You know, not everything's a straight edge here. So I'm gonna, you know, if I'm a little uncomfortable here, I'm gonna just trust this process, that fairing board is gonna get me pretty straight. And you know, it's like with anything, the second time you do something, it's a whole lot easier. Like this side went a whole lot better. So as far as me getting it to where I think I'm ready for the next layer, so I got to shut down for the night. Got to go work on a buddy's boat tomorrow, so we'll be ready to fish this summer. But I'm gonna get back and I'm gonna get done with this now. I kind of feel like I got some momentum, but I'm hoping when I come back in here and pull this next layer and I go to sand it, we're gonna shoot for like 85% there, and probably have to go to one more layer. But it's you know, it's kind of hard to tell. You know, I know with the camera it's pretty difficult, but it you know, it all looks pretty good. I'm a little confused up here why these are so proud. I'm, you know, putting that sanding block on here and just trying to get this smooth. So it should span from here to here, but it's leaving a lot of these ridges. So I'm gonna look at that a little bit better next time I go around, and you can kind of see. I know this isn't the best camera work, guys. I'm sorry. And you can also see where I had a little bit of a bulge here, which is where this glass right here overlapped and this glass overlapped. So there's a little bit of a bulge. So, but other than that, I think it's looking pretty good. Trying to stay out of this glass and just let that fairing compound do its job. Come back in here. You saw me, I vacuumed it all out. I'll probably get a brush or something with the vacuum, clean the filter on the vacuum, make sure I got good suction, and come back in here and kind of scrub it and vacuum it and get all the dust particles and all that out of there before I put this next layer on. But that'll be a little while. You know, hopefully that'll keep this thing moving, and we'll get it back going. I'm ready to get the bottom painted and see how it's done. Let me come or spin around here. You can see I broke out my little, it's actually a little camera I use, a little tripod I use for my cameras when I'm filming, hunting, or anything else. But the transom's got some issues too, the stern. So you can see these lines here, okay? So from here to here, that's kind of, all this stuff in here is still low. So that's why it still looks like the ridges are high, because it's actually low. And then from here, like from here to here, here to here. All of this in here is kind of, and you can really tell, doggone it, that this is a really, really high point. So this is where that all that glass is. You have basically, I think, 2 layers of glass right here, 4. I don't know, I have to go back. It's a lot of glass going right here, but there's a dip right here. So this is going to be the flat level. I'm back up. This is going to be the level that's going to have to come all the way out to this edge. So we're going to have to really build this up in here pretty good, I believe. So I'm going to think on that for a while. If you got any ideas, I'd love to hear them. But that's kind of why I stopped on the transom when I did. You can see I'm getting in the glass here and here and here. So to me, that's, I got to stop, add some more fairing compound. So I feel like I'm trying to get the hang of this, and hopefully it's going to go a little faster. So I appreciate y'all following along, and let me know what you think. I appreciate it. We're over 1,000. Hadn't forgot about the giveaway. That stuff's coming. I got some news to announce on that at some point once I get it all lined out, but I hadn't forgot, it is coming. So take care, and we appreciate it.